The shift from culture to industry, a modern dilemma. In the classical age, culture was the bedrock upon which society was built. It was the very essence of communal life, shaping industries, arts, and governance. Culture was the heartbeat, the soul that animated every aspect of existence. It was the soil from which all else grew, nourished by shared beliefs, values, and customs. In this ancient order, industries emerged as natural extensions of cultural identity, crafted to reflect and preserve the collective spirit of a people. However, in the modern world, a profound shift has occurred. The relationship between culture and industry has been inverted. Industry now occupies the central position, dictating the rhythms of life, while culture has been relegated to the periphery, often reduced to a mere byproduct of industrial demands. What was once organic and soulful now appears manufactured and hollow, stripped of its essence and vitality. Culture, instead of being the lifeblood of society, is increasingly seen as a tool, molded and reshaped to serve the relentless machinery of industry. This shift has not been without consequence. As industry takes precedence, culture loses its depth, its authenticity. The rich tapestry of human experience, once woven with the threads of tradition, art, and philosophy, is now increasingly defined by mass production, efficiency, and profit. The result is a culture that feels empty, devoid of the substance and meaning that once characterized it. What we now experience is a culture that is in many ways an echo of its former self, commercialized, commodified, and detached from the deeper currents of human existence. The allure of this new order is undeniable. Industry, with its promise of convenience, novelty, and instant gratification, taps into our deepest desires. It offers a kind of addictive satisfaction, catering to our need for comfort and distraction. Yet this comes at a significant cost. The very attributes that make industrial culture so appealing, its accessibility, its immediacy, its ubiquity, also render it shallow and transient. In our pursuit of these fleeting pleasures, we risk losing touch with the enduring values that give life meaning and substance. This phenomenon can be understood as a kind of cultural dislocation. As industry becomes the core around which society revolves, culture is increasingly experienced not as a lived reality, but as a consumable product. We have become accustomed to viewing culture through the lens of industry, valuing it primarily for its marketability rather than its intrinsic worth. This inversion leads to a dilution of cultural identity, where the soul of a community, its traditions, its art, its philosophy becomes secondary to its economic viability. Yet, beneath this industrial veneer, the fundamental human need for meaning, connection, and identity persists. We are, at our core, the same beings as those who lived in eras where culture was central. Our desires, our fears, our longing for significance remain unchanged. The challenge lies in recognizing and reclaiming this truth. We must remember that culture is not something to be consumed passively. It is something to be actively lived and experienced. It is the essence of our being, the source of our humanity. To transcend the emptiness of modern industrial culture, we must reimagine the relationship between culture and industry. This requires a shift in perspective, where culture is seen not as a byproduct of industrial processes, but as the seed from which all industry should grow. Culture must once again be placed at the heart of our existence, not as an afterthought, but as the guiding force that shapes our industries, our societies, and our lives. In this reimagined order, industry would serve culture, not dominate it. It would be a means of expressing and preserving the soul of a community, rather than a force that erodes it. This would create a more harmonious and meaningful existence, where culture and industry are in balance, each enhancing and enriching the other. Such a vision offers hope in a world that increasingly feels devoid of meaning, providing a path back to the roots of human experience. The transmutation of culture in the modern age, from the soul of society to an appendage of industry, is a profound and troubling shift. Yet, it is not irreversible. By reclaiming culture as the foundation of our lives, we can restore the depth and authenticity that has been lost, breathing new life into a world that has forgotten its soul.